Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Novella. Today is Wednesday and that means a midweek check-in. Now, when you start a booktube channel, you really begin to read differently. Your levels are different. You're tweaked differently in a way. It's really bizarre. You think of other things that are important. You think also in a way that am I reading a book that my viewers will find interesting? And I really had this question more than once this week. I've been reading a couple of books. These are the books. So I first read Shy by Max Porter. This is a book about a boy. We are in the head of a boy during a couple of hours who feels, alone and misunderstood. And by the end of the book, he feels that he's not alone in the world. This was not very memorable, although the way it is written, it really shows the scattered mind of somebody. So he writes a bit like this, and then you have parts like this, and then you have things like that. So it's really scattered, but easy to follow. But for me, it was not very memorable. I only gave it 3 stars, so maybe other people will like it more than me. I didn't hate it, far from it, but for me it didn't leave a very big impression. Then I also read our next Patricia Highsmith novel. This is our 6th. So together with Ollie from Criminology, we are reading the whole catalogue of Patricia Highsmith. And this is, of course, the Dutch version of The Game for the Living. That's this, het spel voor de levenden. The Game for the Living is about a murder that takes place in Mexico City, and a friend discovers the body, and he accuses another friend, Ramon, of being the murderer, but then all things are different than we think it is, but it wasn't a very good book. I'm sorry, it really started well. It was a fun read at the beginning, but midway the book it was becoming very messy and very unfocused and not as interesting when it comes to characters. So what I really like about Patricia Highsmith's writing, is that her characters always give such depth, and they are very rich people in the sense of emotions and thoughts, and she always plays with various shades of grey, and this wasn't the case in this book. It was a very, very mediocre book, Game of the Living, or Game for the Living. I really, really didn't like this one. It was only a 3-star read, just because the first part of the book was really good, and then actually it would have been like a 4 stars if it was throughout the book. That well written, but it wasn't very good. Then I also read Liarmouth by John Waters. This is a fun read. It really is. It's about a Liarmouth. What's her name? I forgot. Marcia Sprinkle, and she is a suitcase thief. And she goes from airport to airport and robs people. And yeah, she really makes a good living. And there's another guy who talks to his peanuts. And yeah, it's not very, it doesn't, this book doesn't make any sense, but it's just good fun to read. It's not, there's no lessons to be learned, or yeah, it's not a very difficult read, but it's just fun. It's absurd. It's hilarious. It's just good fun. Yesterday I was thinking, oh no, I have to shoot a video tomorrow, and I really don't have anything absolutely interesting that I can offer. Things that I'm known for, like little gems hidden somewhere, and mostly translated fiction that is really unique. And then I looked at my Kindle, and there was a book by Nastassja Martin. Nastassja Martin. She's French. She is an anthropologist and a researcher. And she has written a book, In the Eye of the Wild. This is a non-fiction story. This is the story, this is her story. So she was way up north in Russia, and she was in a very wild country, and they were climbing a volcano, and when they descended the volcano, she was attacked by a bear. And half of her face was ripped off by the bear, but she did manage to hush the bear away. It took many hours before she got saved, and then she was put in a hospital in Russia. There they did already some surgery on her jaw. They reformed her jaw a bit, and they put a plate in and everything. And as soon as she was back in France, they took her in the hospital to Salpêtrière. And of course, before she knew it, she was in the midst of a medical war between East and West, in the sense that the plate that they put in Russia in her mouth, the French doctors didn't agree with, and they wanted to put a plate in of theirs. And then the misery started, and it was horrible for her. Then she got a sort of a bug, and then they thought she had TBC or TB, tuberculosis, and all sorts of stuff. So they really messed up. And then when she finally healed a bit, she went back to Russia because she couldn't stand the people looking at her and with sorrow and understanding. She was disgusted by the way people were looking at her. So she went back to Russia, where she had a sort of a cabin where she lived in the wild and without any running water, electricity, and especially no internet. And there she started writing her memoir, or what happened to her there. And she was taken care of by the local people that are mostly tribes, still tribes. You know, they lived off the reindeer and of the land, but really in a sort of more spiritual way. And this is her account of this story and of her story. This is such a profound and beautiful book. And she makes you think about our relationship with nature, especially our Western relationship with nature, because we want everything under control. We don't want wild animals anymore. We don't want any danger of being attacked by a wolf or by a bear, although they have as much right to be here and even more right to be here than we. We are with way too many people. That's a fact. We are, like a pest in a way to the world. And we want to control everything, and also the still superior thinking of the medical world towards other countries is flabbergasting. And thinking that we can control and we can control anything. That is so wrong. And we have opinions about everything, but sometimes we don't know, we don't have a clue about what is really going on. And it was a really gripping, beautiful little book. It's only like 130 pages. Really well written, but absolutely really well written. You would think it was fiction. Honestly, it is non-fiction, but written with beautiful prose. It's a mind-blowing book. I really was impressed by this book, and I'm so happy I can talk about this book and that you can discover it now too. I really enjoyed this book. I give it 5 stars and more. I think it will be the best non-fiction book I've read this year. So absolutely stunning. Thank you for watching. I see you on Friday. Bye-bye.